Sunrise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Porchlight Letters podcast number 2208, The Ripple of Small Acts. It has been a long day. Let me tell you, it has been a long day. I have cleaned the house from top to bottom. I've had to do my annual inspection for the house, which is all done through an app where you got to go and take like a gazillion photographs and upload them into this app, which takes forever for the things to upload. I got my newsletter done and scheduled to go out. I have worked out what this week's coming theme is going to. In fact, I've worked out the next 4 weeks of podcast themes. So we've got volume 17 through 20 all organized. Ready to go starting tomorrow with, what are we starting tomorrow with? That's a really good question. Let's have a look at the book, at the official book. This is the official Porchlight Letters podcast book. So we are starting tomorrow with The Healing Path. Yes, The Healing Path is what we start with tomorrow for volume 17. But today we're talking about the ripple of small acts. Yes. We often underestimate the small acts, the quiet kindness, the short posts, the tiny step forward. But small doesn't mean insignificant. Small has ripples, and those ripples reach far further than we can see. So think about, the butterfly effect, how they talk about how beautiful and gentle and those little butterflies are with their little wings and fragile and all that. And their wings can, cause hurricanes or gale force winds and all that, because of a small ripple effect that keeps going out and out and out. It's called the butterfly effect. There's a book on that. I've got to go find it. I think I actually have a copy of that book. I'm still going through all my books. I'm still sorting through all the books, but we're getting there. We're getting there. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So when small ripples, they reach further than we can see. It could be something as simple as just giving a smile to somebody as you walk past them in the grocery store. And that's small. We just might think of it just as a small act, but that could go on to have huge implications further down the road, because it could be the beginning of something for that person that turns out being absolutely amazing. They may have been having a really down day, and somebody they don't know just gives them a smile. I mean, heck, when I'm not feeling that great and somebody gives me a smile, instant mood boost. Instant mood boost. Instant mood boost. Where the heck that other one came from, I have no clue. See, this is what happens when you spend the day house cleaning and not drinking enough fluids on the intake. So what it teaches us is that every choice, no matter how small, carries weight. A single act of courage can inspire others to act too. Consistency builds impact one drop at a time. You think, you got that mirror water, and you just do one drop, and how far out does the ripple go? The one I like is that when you got the glassy lake, the lake looks like glass, and you go out there and you're skipping stones on it, and you just watch the ripple effects go out from the skipping the stones. The little things often create the biggest turning points in our lives and in others. Yeah. There could be the smallest of act, like somebody giving you a smile, and that smile brightens your day, boosts your mood, and you never know what's going to happen. You could start getting, your mood's being boosted by a simple smile that somebody shared with you. You have no idea who they are, but they shared that with you, and you went off and triggered something inside of you to go and create something that ends up becoming massive. It could be watching a reel or something, just a simple reel, just a simple reel with a quiet message or maybe a song on it or something that just triggers something inside of you to go and create something big, or to help somebody else create something big. You end up collaborating. How we carry forward: honor your smallest steps as victories. How do you eat an elephant? One small bite at a time. How do you climb a staircase? One step at a time. How do you climb a mountain? One step at a time. Those steps to getting towards your goals are all victories to be celebrated. See consistency as the quiet proof of your commitment. Don't hold back waiting for perfect. Let your small ripples start today. Yeah, if you keep waiting for perfect, it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen in the fact that there will never be perfect. There will never be the perfect time to start a blog. There will never be the perfect time to start a podcast. There will never be the perfect time to sit down and start writing. As Nike says, just do it. Or as Richard Branson says, say yes, then figure it out. That's what I had. That's what I did when Casey challenged me to do one podcast a day for a year, and that was just over 6 years ago. I just immediately said, okay. And then it wasn't until the drive home that I figured out that the impact of it hit me. Oh my gosh, he's challenged me, because our conversation was just backwards and forwards, no pauses. He said, I want you to do a Facebook Live every day for a week. I went, okay. It was done. And it wasn't until the drive home that it hit me what I had just committed to. And I was like, oh crap, what do I talk about for a year? Every day for a year, what do I talk about? And this is right back at the beginning, 6 years ago, 6 and a bit years ago, 2,209 days ago. Actually, I think it was about a week before but when he issued the challenge to when I started, because I said I was going to start on the 1st of August of 2019. And so it was about a week before that when he gave me the challenge. And so I had a week to figure out what I was going to talk about for a year, every day for a year. Well, the cool part is that the first 27 days were going to be really easy, because my folks were coming out from New Zealand. We were getting in the RV. We were going on a 27-day road trip, which covered 3,227 miles in 27 days. Not doing that again. Sorry, 220. Is it 227 or 320? 2,227 miles in 27 days. Or was it 3,227 miles? I've got it written down somewhere. And I learned a lot about myself during that, and I took you guys on that journey with me as we tried new places and went and explored new things, and having things break down on the RV and all sorts of good stuff. So we took you guys along on that journey. So that was the first 27 days done. And then the rest of that time was talking about, what was life like in an RV, and then towards the beginning, and then went out to Arizona for 4 weeks and ended up staying 6 weeks in Arizona, and I was down in Tucson for 4 of those weeks. Rented a car while I was down there. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun, and we'll go driving around different places and stuff and do different things, and got a little busy with work down there because there was a couple of sites I wanted to go and see, and I didn't get to see them because I got tied up with work and stuff that needed to get done for clients. And then there was, so I ended up staying 6 weeks down there. I spent 4 weeks in Tucson and 2 weeks in, where did I spend those 2 weeks? I know I was in Mesa for a few days. I'll have to go back and have a look through my logs. I found my logs the other day. That was interesting, going back and reading through the logs. And I'm thinking, I have some photos I can slot in there as well. So itchy nose. Ugh. All the dust. So I was trying to figure out what can I talk about for. And then when COVID came along and everything was shutting down and the schools were closing and all that, I did this really cool live one day, and it was a Boredom Busters live. And there was a few coaches who picked that up were family coaches or something, or helped with the help women. Although some of them were women, some of them were specifically for stay-at-home moms, all those that had to work, who wanted to start their own businesses and things. And all of a sudden they had the kids at home. What do I do with them? So I actually created this Boredom Busters video. And I think I had like 25 ideas and things that they could do with kids, just different ideas inside the house, so they didn't have, or just outside in the yard that they could do. And I had a lot of fun creating that one. That was a lot of fun. And then I think it was around that time I started doing 2 a day, sometimes 3 or 4 a day. And even when we were tripping around with mum and dad, we were doing more than 1 live a day during that time as well, which is why we've ended up with over 3,700 videos that were all part of the podcasts and everything. So just one small act. This small act was Casey challenging me to do a Facebook Live every day for a year. Here we are, 6 years and 17 days later. Oh, what did I? Oh, yeah. So we're talking about how to carry it forward. So don't hold back waiting for perfect, because it'll never happen. Let your small ripples start today. Make the decision to start. There will never be the perfect time for you to start something. In fact, I will tell you when the perfect time is to start something right now. If you've been putting off doing a podcast, if you've been putting off doing a blog, if you've been putting off doing some writing, go do it today. Today is the perfect time to start. If you're waiting for conditions to be perfect in whatever the perfect is in your mind, it will never happen. The perfect time is now. And I will tell you this, the podcast that gets recorded, no matter how bad it is, will far outweigh the one that is perfect in your head, because it's out there and it's getting seen. And yes, your first 50 or so will suck. I mean, we're on day 2,208. Do I still have sucky days? Absolutely. My first ones were a little shaky and all that, but once I got into a rhythm, it was fine. But then there were days it was just sort of like, I am so tired. My brain is so fried. I've got no idea how this is going to come out. And I get off the air and I'm like, man, that sucked. Yet it goes and gets and yet those ones go and get some of the highest reviews. I'm like, it was a sucky video. It was perfect. It doesn't matter if I thought it was sucky. If it sucked, everybody else thought it was a great video because they're out there and they're seeing it. So sometimes the worst video you do could end up being your best one. A small step. Start today. That is the perfect time to start, is today. Trust that your presence, your story, and your acts matter, even when you can't see the outcome. There's a lot of times that we have an image in our head of what the outcome is going to be. But I will tell you this, most of the time, the outcome ends up being looking totally different to what you had pictured in your head. Think about that one. You got the result. It's just the way you got it was not how you imagined it would happen. Because you grow. Things happen along the way that challenge you, that stretch you, that grow you. You're a completely different person. You will be a completely different person when you get to the end of that goal than what you are today. So that is why even though you can imagine what it's going to feel like and be like and all of that, when you actually get there, it's going to feel totally different. You would have achieved the goal, but it will feel very different to you because you are in a completely different space. You have become something else. With the legacy isn't only the grand gesture or milestones, it's the tiny, consistent ripples that keep moving long after we've gone. What you do today might feel small, but in someone else's story, it could be the spark that changes everything. Reflection questions. Yes, we have reflection questions for you. We have the regular journal. We have journals 1 through 12 are now published. 13, 14, and 15 were uploaded yesterday or the day before. I think they were uploaded Friday. So they should be going live on Monday or Tuesday, but we'll let you know when that happens. And then 16 will be uploaded to Amazon this week. It won't be today. My brain is fried. I can't concentrate for that long right now. I can barely keep my concentration for the what are we doing, the podcast right now. So I tell you, I hate housework. It gets me all discombobulated. When I'm discombobulated and dehydrated, that's a bad mix. Okay, reflection questions. Number 1, what small act today felt ordinary to me but may have mattered to someone else? It could have been the fact that we took one of the quotes from last night's podcast about, what was last night's one? About being enough, I think it was. Was last night's one about being enough? I can't remember. But we took a quote from that podcast and we turned it into a reel on Instagram, a reel on Facebook. It's shorts on YouTube and all that. We just posted it everywhere. It's on TikTok. They are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Did I say LinkedIn? And LinkedIn. Yeah, we got them onto those 5 places. But what we did is we took this one quote, put different videos behind as the background for each version. And then we used the song, The Best Me I Can Be, which is one I wrote last year and we released it about a month ago. And month ago today, because it was the 17th of July we released it. So a month ago today, we released 2 versions of it. There's Tui Ross, who sings one, and then there's Brody Carmichael, who sings the other one. Very different tune, exactly the same lyrics, very different tunes. And so we took the on Tui's. So we made these 2 different backgrounds, and on one we've got the first chorus on Tui's version of the song, and on the other one we've got the second chorus on Brody's version of the song. And we uploaded those down. I thought, let's see how this goes. We've already got people liking these things and watching these things and listening to these. And it's just really cool that, this one small act of writing a song over almost a year ago, and then taking until July of this year to get music put to it, get voices put to it. That was, I didn't think it was a big deal to write a song. Well, actually, now I think it's a big deal, because now I've heard them with music and a voice and voices attached to it. It just blew my mind. And the first time that I heard my song with music and a singer on it, I was sitting here bawling, because I never thought that would happen. And it did happen. But then I ended up listening to 8 different versions and ended up with the last 2, which is Tui and Brody's versions, and was quite excited, and spoke to my business coach about, what do I do? He says, release both. And he hadn't even heard them at that point. He didn't hear them till like the next morning, and came back with me and was blown away with how good they were. So now we're utilizing that song. We're going to utilize those 2 versions on different short videos, and see how it goes. And we'll pull out a verse, or we'll pull out a chorus, and set them to put a video backdrop and put a quote on there from one of the podcasts on it. So collaboration with Celtic Fern Studios, between Porchlight Letters and Celtic Fern Studios. We've got this great collaboration going right now. So check those out. And again, it's just a little video. It's their little 25-second videos. And, to me, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but to somebody else, it could be something that might help them through something they're going through right now. And the quote that is on there is, enough is a sentence. No, hang on. Enough is, hang on. My brain is so fried. Enough is a complete sentence. That's what it is. Enough is a complete sentence, because somebody could be going through a struggle. And like I said, on one of them, we had Tui do the first chorus, and on the second video, we had Brody do the second chorus. So we may change it around next time. We may even have one of them do one of the verses or something like that. There's one verse I really want them to do. I just got to find the right quote to put with it. So I'll go back to brainstorming on that one. Anyway, so where was I? Oh yeah, so number 1. I tell you, housework sends me crazy. What small act today felt ordinary to me, but may have mattered to someone else? So that was the act of putting those videos out. Where have I seen ripples in my own life from someone else's quiet act of kindness? Number 3, how can I give myself credit for the little steps I take every day? That one's easy. Just give gratitude in everything. In everything, give thanks. What small ripple can I send out tomorrow? And our closing thought for today: never underestimate the ripple of a small act. In your quiet courage lies the power to move oceans. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. because it's Monday. It's Monday tomorrow, right? Yes, Monday.